a few examples jump out to us. What bothered you, Shaun? What jumped out to you?
Mike Malarkey
Yeah.
was retained in Tennessee. Like,
Yeah.
are you serious?
Yeah, we said that. We said the same thing. You know what it is, though, and you know this. They're going to sell the team in all probability. They don't want to bring somebody in. Like, if you hire Chip Kelly and you give him, I don't know, 5 years, $20 million, whatever it is, the new ownership group is going to have to sort through that contract. So, I mean, it's obvious what they're doing. I don't think it's right, but you know what they're doing there, Shaun.
I really
Huh?
don't. I really don't.
All right.
I mean,
Jeff
it's bad for the players.
Jeff Fisher still has a job some kind of way.
Well, it's the
still
same
haven't
thing.
figured
They're
out.
moving. Sean, they're moving. You know, they don't want
He
to.
must have pictures of Cronky or something. That's got to be it.
Where did the Raiders go, by the way, since we kind of hit into the teams that are moving around here? Where did the Raiders wind up?
Well, if they want to mute me, they go to San Antonio because Charles Barkley has very, very eloquently painted the picture of San Antonio. So to go from Cali to San Antonio, I would boycott as a player.
Really?
Boy, he's just dropping his
I
little bombs
know,
here today,
man.
King, huh?
Well, what about the Rams going from St. Louis to Los Angeles? You think they have a big?
That's an upgrade.
I mean, you could look at it that way.
Yeah, no one's complaining on that team. Everybody's like, okay, let's move.
You know, I think too, Shaun, I agree with that. Unfortunately for the fans of St. Louis who are good, but they get screwed. LA's a better business model. You make a ton more money. And here's the other thing,
By the way,
too.
I read a lot about that move. It's the best thing that could have happened
Phenomenal.
to St. Louis because St. Louis was paying out of basically taxpayer funds to keep the team there.
No, it works out for
They weren't
everybody.
they weren't making any money.
Shaun, don't you think it's an advantage as well? If you're a player, think about USC or Stanford or Oregon or any of these big-time powers on the West Coast. If you're a free agent in the NFL and you're from California or you played out there, chances are you're going to stick with the Rams or try to play in L.A. I would think it's a nice advantage for the new team in the NFL.
On the surface, I think that makes sense. But at the end of the day, nobody's taking a pay cut just to go to L.A. Free agents are still going to go generally to the team that's going to pay them the most money.
But at the end of the day, it's a better place to be than St. Louis.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
1,000% correct. I would have been disappointed if I was in San Diego because I think San Diego is a great city, a beautiful place to live. And even though it's expensive, it's not as expensive as L.A. I think you get a little more bang for your buck in San Diego.
True.
So I don't know how I feel about that move.
Well, I mean, it looks like they're going, right? They're not going to stay, right? They're going to go to
That's
Los
what it
Angeles.
looks like. I've heard Carson they're going to play in. I haven't read the entire thing, but on the surface, that's what I think it looks like.
Oh, they're going to have to join the Rams because if
Yeah.
they don't, that one-year option expires. The Raiders hop in, and the Chargers never get that. They're definitely going. You can put that in the bank.
Shout out to the NFL owners, too, who are rich enough to just turn down $100 million that they were going to be offered to stay in San Francisco.
It's a nice job, huh? And Shaun King with us here, I know. Hey, what'd you see from Peyton? I know that there were a lot of drops and the stats weren't great. What did you see from Peyton Manning throwing the football yesterday, Shaun?
Hey, he's an old man that's trying to make it work.
Yeah.
And he did a good enough job to get the victory, and that's all you can ask. And I think that's what they'll stick with him. You know, it'll be interesting if they ever get in a game versus New England or in the Super Bowl. They have to score a lot of points.
Yeah.
What happens? But that defense is excellent, and at home where they got the crowd advantage, if Peyton just does what he did yesterday, doesn't turn the ball over, kind of just takes what's there, I think Denver got a good chance.
Yeah, and again, they're going to have to get lucky, and they can't get behind. We've had this discussion a little bit about the best quarterback of all time, and obviously because of this matchup, their 17th meeting, the 5th in the postseason, they get a lot of conversation points around it. But Tom Brady, I mean, when you look at what he's been able to do over the course of his career, it's pretty astounding. And is there a debate in your mind that he's the best of all time, Tom Brady?
Not at all. Because Brady's the one guy that's kind of overcome his personnel.
Yeah.
It hasn't mattered who's been around him. He's elevated their level of play, and he's won, 4 championships now, is it?
Yep.
And the guys are almost drastically different. You know, whereas Peyton, if you're honest with yourself, I mean, Marvin Harrison, Edgerrin James, when Reggie Wayne comes up, he's going to get in that group. They've all been on the Hall of Fame ballot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know that outside of Randy Moss, who he only had for one year, really, and who else has Brady played with? I mean, Gronk's going to be on there, but outside of that, who?
Nobody. You know how many times we've said this? I mean, there's probably 7 or 8 running backs. I mean, that you can rip through. There's about 6 or 7 rotating receivers. Really the stalwart here would be Randy Moss for a minute, and Gronkowski is one of the best of all time. But, I mean, I look at coaching now, and Tiki and I spent a lot of time this morning on Andy Reid's disaster. What else is new? But let me ask you, oh, God, from this point of view, Shaun, if I were to ask you who is more directly responsible for the all-encompassing success in New England, is it Belichick or is it Brady?
It's both.
That's the easy way out. Give me a name. Come on, you're better than that.
But I don't think either one wins the championships independent of the other.
Yeah.
Huh. So then, wouldn't that fortify the argument that Joe Montana is better than Brady?
But does Joe Montana win those championships without Bill Walsh? I mean, Bill Walsh was an amazing architect. He was ahead of his time with that system.
Yeah, he created the West Coast system.
But there's got to be. But Shaun, on your premise, there's got to be some players who win, who are a little more responsible for the ultimate victory, and not just share it jointly with their head coach. Otherwise, it seems like it's always 50-50.
But here's the thing where Brady and Belichick, to me, you have to put him, because Belichick's a defensive guy.
Yeah.
He didn't coach any of the offenses that New England has had. And every offensive coordinator that's left New England that people consider great is completely bombed as a head coach.
There's a long list of them.
Yeah.
There's a long list.
Charlie
Romeo.
Weiss, Josh McDaniels, there's a long list of guys who were the reason the Patriots are good on offense, who've been terrible everywhere else.
Yeah.
I love it. Shaun King, not mincing words. Shaun is with us here on Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio.
Hey, Shaun, let's move over to the NFC Championship real quickly before we let you go here. Cam Newton, his completion percentage is what it is. He does some things with his legs. He's inspiring. He's uplifting. And on the other side, Carson Palmer, he doesn't play great, but he's unafraid. And I think he has a head coach in Bruce Arians who lets him, be reckless at times. Who has the advantage in this game? Because neither one of them have the experience on this particular stage.
I'm going to go with Carolina because they're playing at home.
Yeah.
I think so much of this game is going to be based on who ended up with home field advantage. If Carolina had to go to Arizona, I would favor them, but that's not what happened. Arizona has to come across the country, go to Carolina, go play on that field that doesn't have great footing. That's going to negate a little bit of that aggressive downfield passing game.
Yeah.
I think both quarterbacks play a great game, but I tend to lean towards Carolina's defense just a little more.
Hey, by the way, you heading out to San Francisco for some work with Yahoo? We're going to see you out there? Oh, nice.
I'll be there all week, 1st through the 8th.
Okay.